guys. Don't mind Brooks squeaking in the background. So I decided this week I am going to try to do a vlog that is a little snippet of each day and then condensed into one longer video instead of just making a short video of one day's worth of stuff. So today is Sunday. It's really nasty and cold outside. It's like 25 degrees and windy. So we're not really doing anything outside, but Tommy and my dad actually went on a little adventure up north to pick something up that is going to be a huge upgrade to our house, but it fits into the homesteading life. So I'm just waiting impatiently for them to get home. I'm probably gonna go and finish typing up the notes for the garden class that I am teaching in May. And when they get here, I'll show you what we got. If you're wondering how much wood it takes to unload a wood stove, this was everything they used for shimming and ramps. So we just got a pretty exciting delivery for the scullery project. It is all of the drywall, and then this is underlayment, which is what we're going to use for above the metal that's going to go on the walls. But drywall will be for the new wall that goes right here. Hi, Jay. And then that door that he's standing in is going to get closed in and need some drywall. And then this underlayment will be ripped down and be kind of a faux shiplap on the top portion of the walls. So that is just one piece of the puzzle. There's some more stuff that I gotta go pick up tomorrow, and we're getting closer to starting. You ready to start this project? Yeah, you're anxious to build some stuff, aren't you? It's deceivingly nice out, meaning that the sun is shining, but it's really not very warm. It's like 35, I think, and windy. But I had made this list of garden work for March, which is coming to an end. And I still have like 5 things on it. So I'm going to attempt to finish some of those at least. We'll see how long I last in the cold and how long my baby lasts in the house with grandma. And yeah, I think my biggest goal is that I need to stake out my rows because my onion starts should be coming probably next week. And I want to have their area planned. So I have a pretty not fancy way of staking these things out. This is my measuring stick, which is 4 feet long. So that's the width of my bed. So I'm just making it between each stake. This little notch halfway across my measuring stick. So that's 2 feet, which is what my pathways are. So just every other stake is put either 4 feet or 2 feet. And then I know where my rows are. Once it gets time to actually plant, I'll pull this tarp up and put stakes at the other end of each row and do a string just so that I can keep it kind of neat when I'm planting. But for now, I'm just going to pull this tarp back and keep it covered. But this half of the garden will be planted first in cold weather stuff. So it's going to be my onions, carrots, potatoes, and cauliflower, I think. So I want the tarp to be here first. And then once I have all of this planted, I'll move the tarp to the other side of the raised beds to kill off all of the cover crop and weed seeds over there until I put in my warm season stuff. So Will and I just went to town and ran a few errands and then stopped at the Amish to get the metal for the scullery. Tommy set this up here a couple days ago, and I think he tested it once to see. They figured it out. They won't cross it. So that's good. That means that we can put up our posts in here. We want to keep those gates separate, so there's going to be a little bit of a lane. And then just so they don't push on this fence and dig under it, we're going to put step-in posts with hot wire around the perimeter. And then we'll close this door to the barn, but we'll leave these panels open so they can still get in there if they want to, even though they'll be fine without it, just as an option. So I am just waiting on my order from Essential Organics to come. I have a lot of 5-gallon buckets that I need to refill and some smaller jars of herbs and things. Tommy's actually home from work today because of the rain, which has now stopped. So he is getting the fence for the pigs, the hot wire, put up so that they can have access to the entire winter paddock, which will be like 10 times as much space as they have currently, and they're definitely ready for it. Once he's done, I'll show you that, and maybe I'll show you what I got with my order, depending on how chaotic it is and if I remember. Naughty girl has decided that it's fun to not stay in her fence all of a sudden. We've had her for 2.5 years, pretty much the entire time we've been in our homestead. And she has maybe gone out, I can probably count on one hand how many times she's gone out of the electric fence in those 2.5 years. But now, all of a sudden, she's decided to do anything but stay in the fence. We gave her a haircut so she could feel the shock on her collar. We even got her a new collar. We made sure that our fence line isn't compromised in some way, and yet she still gets out, like every chance she gets. So we had her locked in the pasture fence, which she could jump, but she doesn't. But anytime we try to let her out for a little break, she's gone. So once we get the west pasture fence to this year, hopefully by the end of spring, we will just put her in there, and we will have chickens over there for the majority of the year, or the majority of the growing season at least. But that will just have to be where she lives, which really stinks for me because I love having her by the house, but it's not fair, obviously, to our neighbors to have her running through their property. And I would be ticked if I had a dog running through my property constantly. So I showed you that last night Tommy and Will were working on getting some outlets up in the scullery here. We're kind of at the point in the project where like we have all of the materials and no space for them. Like I'll show you kind of this panoramic that I took of the situation. So right now, the biggest issue is that every wall needs something done on it. However, every wall really has something on it. So this wall that he did the outlets on still needs to have the window swapped out for that door, which will probably be done in the next week. We hired somebody to come and do that, and these French doors. This wall needs to have the door taken out before we can put the walls up and get the sink in. This wall obviously doesn't exist yet, and that wall needs to have the door swapped out. We're just trying to figure out the order of operations, and it's basically going to mean we're moving things constantly until everything's done, and then they can go where they actually go. He decided to do the outlets on that wall so that now we can move these freezers to that wall and work on this one, closing in that door and getting the plumbing ready for the sink that's going to go there. And then hopefully by the time he's done with that, our wood order will be ready so that we can build this wall. And then once this wall is built and the electrical is done, all of the freezers will come to there and open that wall back up again. So that way the window can get put in and we can do all of the metal and such on the upper part. It's just kind of this constant shuffle of materials, and it's really annoying, but that's kind of what you have to do when you're working with an existing space that already has stuff in it that you're still using. The pigs did not take long to get to tilling up their area, which is good to see. And it's made me realize, so you can kind of see, they've not even been here. I guess they've been here exactly 24 hours, and it's gone from that to that. So that's pretty exciting. We ended up having to block off the compost piles because we realized that we put some of our pig guts in there when we processed last winter, and since it was wintertime, the pile was not hot, so they're definitely not broken down, and they won't be able to turn the piles unless we can get the tractor down here to move that pile. But it's pretty exciting. I'm probably gonna actually end up coming down here and stealing some of this soil for topping off my raised beds. There is just really nice rich soil down here, and it hasn't had a lot of animal action in the past 12 months really, because even in the wintertime our milk cow didn't come out this far, so even the fresh manure is a lot farther back. Good morning. Happy Saturday. I am walking with coffee because it is pretty cold out, but I have a baby on my back, and I know as I start working I'm going to be hot, and I don't want to have to take him off to take off a coat. So staying warm with coffee until I get warm from working. But we have a long list of things that we hope to do today. Tommy has already gotten some of it done. Thought I would show you guys what we're doing. So for the past few weeks, the cows have had this back pasture behind the barn, which is kind of L-shaped, but we need to start letting some of this area rest so that we can actually use it this year. So this morning, Tommy ran a line from that corner post after the fence all the way to the back. I don't know if you can see it. He's just got a single strand of hot wire with some step-in posts. So that way we can come in and kind of, I don't know if we're gonna just kind of spread out this manure and hay from the winter, or if we're actually going to bring the tractor in and put it in the bucket and haul it somewhere else to compost. But in the next week or two, we're going to put the chickens back here with their portable coop so that they can really spread out all of the cow pies and help them break down faster, hopefully. But the cows still have a decent sized area. You can see the line right there. And they've got all of this. I'm hoping he's going to flame weed this asparagus patch so that I can put some compost on it. It's just a weedy mess, and I want to flame weed it just to give it a clean slate before they start to come up soon. And then we have this perimeter bed that he brought compost over a weekend or two ago, and I have peas planted here, but if he's got time, I might have him use the bucket on the tractor to fill up the rest of this bed. And I think my plan is to start tackling these raised beds. I've got a few boards that need to be repaired, and then I just need to clean them out and start topping them off because they've really sunken down a lot over the winter.